Hi everybody, I'm Bree the Plant Lady. It's a beautiful February day, the only nice day of the entire week. And I have been able to get outside and play and be reminded that I am not just a couch potato. Now, any day is a good day when I get to haul some beautiful Soil Cube organic compost, and I can't wait to show you what I'm gonna do with this wheelbarrow load. So come along and let me show you. Welcome to the north side of my property. We had a cryptomeria here that got struck by lightning. So we cut it to the ground, but we didn't remove the stump. And I'm gonna show you how you can just garden around that so that you can take the easy way, like I do. So the first step is to dump your quality compost out in the bed. You can cover that stump up. The more compost you put down, the better the plants will do in getting transplanted. Now you just want to smooth out this composted area. I love to use a hard rake. You can use the tines to move quantity, and then you can use the backside to smooth it out. Now the next step is really simple. Find your plants. I have 3 plants that I want to put in here, and I know it's probably more than I need. I had 1 plant in here, 1 plant should just go in to replace it, but I can't help myself. I'm a plant collector. So I have got this really cool sand cherry from First Editions that I have not been able to figure out where to put, but I think that it's going to be small enough that I can put it here adjacent to this Vitex, which is also from the First Editions program. Now remember, I plant things really close. You might not want to totally take my advice on that. And then I have got this Cephalanthus Sugar Shack from Proven Winners. And it's funny. Oh wow, it's super well rooted. Oh, I'm gonna have to cut that pot open. They saw me posting about a non-native plant called a Dinah. It's very similar, and so they sent me this so that I could grow the native variety as well. And then finally I have a Hydrangea paniculata hybrid from Dr. Durr. I visited him back in October, and he sent me home with some plants, and I'm finally getting them in the ground in February. So if you have a, stockpile of plants, don't feel bad. It takes everybody a while to get things sorted out, especially when you have an established garden, because there's just not an endless amount of room. So now I'm just basically gonna go through and dig holes and get these planted. I'm gonna wait to fertilize because it's still early February, and I think I'm better off fertilizing generally in the middle to end of March. So once these are planted, I'm just gonna let it be for the next 6 to 8 weeks, and then I'll come back in, fertilize, and get this whole bed mulched, and it'll be ready for the spring. All right, so you've probably at some point experienced this where a plant is so root bound you can't get out of the pot. So there's nothing wrong with just cutting it off, but that means you're also gonna have to really rough up these roots, make sure that they will grow outside of the circle. Oh, this is really rough. Another thing you might notice on here is that this pot has a bunch of weeds. These are like classic nursery weeds. I don't want them introduced into my yard. So what I'm gonna do is actually try and peel off that top layer of soil. Just easier said than done because this plant is really root bound. But really, when you buy plants from a nursery, you're a lot of times best to get rid of that top inch of soil because that's where all the problem weeds are. And honestly, most of the weeds you have in your yard probably started from the plants that you bought, not from them just naturally being there. We have so many more weed problems from nursery plants, and that's just, you know, the essence of it. But it's important to be aware. I didn't do a very good job. Ideally, I would have been able to peel off that top layer, but for now that'll be good enough. Now if I can just get it out of the pot. Okay, there we go. Sometimes you gotta destroy a container. And I'm gonna make sure that this label stays with it, because at least when it's a branded plant, at least, you know, you can look it up from the company name. But I like to have it there so that, because it takes me about a year to remember what a new to me variety is. So I'm literally just coming in with my pruners, and you know, I know it seems probably like I'm being cruel, but roots will grow just like if you cut the tips and they divide. And this is really the best approach for a heavily root-bound pot. So I decided to transplant some perennial mums just to act as a ground cover. These will spread throughout here. And that'll ultimately reduce my need to mulch. And this is a really cute mum that I got from my friend Rita Randolph. And she got it from a friend, Jason Reeves. It's named for his grandmother. We call it Jason's grandmother. So it's important to note, the reason that I could just cover up that trunk that we cut down to the ground is because that was a cryptomeria. It's a conifer. Conifers aren't going to re-sprout. Now, if that had been a deciduous tree, I absolutely would have had to dig out the root system. But that's the advantage of cutting down a conifer and being able to plant right over top of it. You can't even tell that it's here, and now this bed is totally replanted and will look awesome through the growing season. And I can't wait to share updates with you. As always, thanks for watching.